Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram Ram,
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Can you open this today?
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
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 Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
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 Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
मदन ये
Krishna,
अंदर
Hare
करो।
Hare, Hare Ram,
हरे कृष्ण
Ram Ram,
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Hare,
हरे, हरे
Hare Krishna,
राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
हरे
Hare,
हरे, हरे कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
हरे हरे,
Krishna,
हरे
Hare
राम
Hare
राम
Ram,
राम
Ram
हरे
Ram,
हरे, हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे
Hare Ram,
राम
Ram
हरे
Ram,
हरे, हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे
Hare
राम
Ram,
राम
Ram
हरे
Ram,
हरे,
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna, Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे
Hare
राम
Ram, Ram
हरे हरे,
Ram,
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
कृष्ण हरे हरे,
Hare
हरे
Ram,
राम हरे हरे,
Hare Krishna,
हरे
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna, Hare Hare,
कृष्ण हरे हरे,
Hare Ram,
हरे
Ram
राम
Ram,
हरे
Hare
हरे,
Hare, Hare
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे
Hare Ram,
राम
Ram
हरे
Ram,
हरे, हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे
Hare Ram,
राम
Ram
हरे
Ram,
हरे,
Hare
हरे कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे,
Hare Ram,
राम
Ram
हरे
Ram,
हरे, हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे
Hare Ram,
राम
Ram
हरे
Ram,
हरे, हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण हरे हरे,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
हरे
Hare,
Hare
राम
Ram,
Hare Ram,
राम
Hare
हरे
Ram
हरे,
Ram,
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे
Krishna,
हरे, हरे
Hare Ram,
राम
Ram
हरे
Ram,
हरे, हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे
Hare
राम
Ram, Ram
हरे
Ram,
हरे,
Hare
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे
Hare
राम
Ram,
राम
Ram
हरे
Ram,
हरे,
Hare
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण कृष्ण
Krishna,
हरे हरे, हरे
Hare
राम
Ram,
राम
Ram
हरे
Ram,
हरे, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna
Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Gitaji
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji online.
Hare
Padmini
Ram,
Radha,
Ram Ram,
Prabhuji is
Hare
joining.
Hare,
Hare Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Ram Ram. Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Prabhuji
Krishna,
online.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. His Grace Ram Girdhari Prabhu is joined now. So, Hare Krishna, Ram Girdhari Prabhu. Padmini Radha,
Hare
please
Krishna.
go ahead.
Yes, Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna, Ram Giridhari Prabhu. Welcome on the call. We are very fortunate to have your association today. So, Hare Krishna, everyone. Prabhuji will be enlightening us from Srimad Bhagvatam 8.1.9 onwards. Prabhuji, whenever you're ready, take over the call.
Sure. I think I'm supposed to do 8.1.10. Is it right or 9?
The notes say 9, but Mataji, can you confirm?
That's okay. If it's 9, it's 9. So wait, no problem.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So, this is Canto 8, Chapter 1, the chapter titled The Manus, Administrators of the Universe. We are going to read text number 9. Srimanuruvacha Yena Chetayate Vishwam Chetayate Nayam Yo Jagarti Sayanesmin Nayam Tam Veda Vedasa. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Lord Manu said, the Supreme Living Being has created this material world of animation. It is not that he was created by this world. When everything is silent, the Supreme Being stays awake as a witness. The living entity does not know him, but he knows everything. Purport. Here is a distinction between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the living entities. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. According to the Vedic version, the Lord is the Supreme Eternal, the Supreme Living Being. The difference between the Supreme Being and the ordinary living being is that when this material world is annihilated, all the living entities remain silent in oblivion, in a dreaming or unconscious condition. whereas the Supreme Being stays awake as the witness of everything. This material world is created, it stays for some time, and then it is annihilated. Throughout these changes, however, the Supreme Being remains awake. In the material condition of all living entities, there are three stages of dreaming. When the material world is awake and put in working order, this is a kind of dream, a waking dream. When the living entities go to sleep, they dream again. And when unconscious at the time of annihilation, when this material world is unmanifested, they enter another stage of dreaming. At any stage in the material world, therefore, they are all dreaming. In the spiritual world, however, everything is awake. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yenam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shrimanuruvacha Ena Chetayate Vishwam Chetayate Nayam Yo Jagarti Shayanesmin Nayam Tam Veda Vedasam. Lord Manu said, the Supreme Living Being has created this material world of animation. It is not that he was created by this material world. When everything is silent, the Supreme Being stays awake as a witness. The living entity does not know him, but he knows everything. Hare Krishna. So, thank you all so much for being part of this regular morning Bhagavatam discussions. And thank you for considering me as a servant in this service. Srimad Bhagavatam has got 10 subject matters. Atra sargo visargascha stanam poshanam utaya manvantare ishanugata nirodha muktirashraya. So, when Vyasadeva has compiled Srimad Bhagavatam, he has very nicely presented this natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra and made sure that the ultimate purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam, which we call it as Paribhasha Sutra. What is Paribhasha Sutra? Paribhasha Sutra means the purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam. If every book has got a drive home purpose, you take any book, every book has got a drive home purpose. So, Bhagavatam's Paribhasha Sutra is, by studying Srimad Bhagavatam, what is the understanding one should get? By studying Srimad Bhagavatam, the understanding one is supposed to get is Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Now, Krishna as Bhagavan, that understanding is a superlative understanding. But then, everyone may not, cannot, have not got that understanding. So, for some, Krishna is a Devata. For some, Krishna is just an imaginary character. For some, Krishna is just a light. For some, Krishna is just a spark in the heart. For some, Krishna is just the nature. They may not call Krishna, for them, God. So there are different, various ways of perceiving the Supreme Lord. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he instructed Rupa Goswami, he has explained about some technical aspects of in what all ways Krishna manifests himself. So, Krishna manifests himself in three primary different divisions. The topic of Krishna, the topic of Supreme Lord, can be spoken from various perspectives, from devotional service perspective, from administrative angle perspective, from father-son perspective, from boss-subordinate perspective, from various perspectives, the Supreme Lord's description can be given. But I will explain in one angle and then we'll churn further. So, Rupa Goswami was given an instruction by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about three different aspects of Krishna, three different forms. One is called Swayam Rupa. Number two is called Tadekatma Rupa. Number three is called Avesha Rupa. Meaning, the Supreme Lord performs his entire duty and his entire interrelationship with the created beings into these three buckets. One is called Swayam Rupa. Second is called Tadekatma Rupa. Third is called Avesha Rupa. Swayam Rupa means there are certain functions of the Lord. The Lord executes them by himself. That he doesn't want it to be done by anyone else on his behalf. There are certain functions that he does it through his expansions and for a specific related activities. Then the third is about Avesha Rupa, where he empowers some human and gets it done through them. To easily understand, let us think of a government portfolio. Government, who is supposed to be our guardian. So, every 5 years, the guardian change, but the role that he has to play, say president in some country called prime minister. But anyway, whoever is the in charge of the government, how does they function? Some of the portfolios and functions, the government head keeps it with himself. Some of the functions, he assigns ministers or representatives, and some of the functions he gets it through the society or some other body. Similarly, Krishna in his manifested Leela, anything to do with his dear devotees, anything to do with him performing pastimes with his dear devotees, anything to do with him trying to enjoy his moments, he does it himself. And there are more technical information to that. I'm not getting to that level because Rupa Goswami was given a detailed knowledge by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I am giving one rung, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given furthermore detailed subdivisions under each of this rung. So if anybody is interested in the subject matter, they can read teachings of Lord Chaitanya or they can refer to Rupa Sanatana Siksha in Madhya Kanda. These details are available in elaborate. So, but I will, for the sake of explaining this particular verse, I am just trying to give some technical information. So that Swayam Rupa part of Krishna, which means Swayam Rupa means these all activities which Krishna will do it himself, which means the Bhagavan aspect of him, the Leela Purushottam aspect of him, the Rasaraj aspect of him, where he is personally involved in looking after his devotees, personally involved in performing activities that are pleasing him, that are enjoyment for him, that are directly supposed to be associated with his pleasure. Of course, Swayam Rupa has got Swayam Prakasha, and there are multiple other more details. So even Balaram fits into that. So there are even Radharani fits into that. So there are other details to that. Now, what is this Tadekatma Rupa? Tadekatma Rupa means, if you know the concept of creation, Krishna, then Krishna's expansions, Krishna's reflections, Krishna's empowerments, and Krishna's personal manifestations. So there are the several ways that happens. So Tadekatma Rupa is that form of the Lord, where the Lord takes care of all the administrative, operational, and conducting the universe aspect of the services. So Tadekatma Rupa, which means the Lord in the form of Vishnu, the Lord in the form of Brahma, the Lord in the form of Shiva, the Lord in the form of various administrative authorities. He tries to manage this universe. He tries to take care of the administrative and universal function so that things are in order, because it is one aspect of the Supreme Lord, maintenance part of the Supreme universe. Then Avesha Rupa, that is called Sakti Avesha Avatar, or empowered personalities. So for the sake of preaching, for the sake of spreading the missionary activities, for the sake of making sure that the suffering souls are lobbied, people are going after them, explaining them, and try to cajole them, try to preach them, try to inspire them. So for that, sometimes the Lord also does it in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but by and large, he is dependent on his own dear devotees. They are all called Shakti Avesha avatars, like Narada Muni, like Prithu Maharaj. So all they do is that they do missionary activities. So one is Leela, second is administration and operation, third is preaching. So these are the three different ways by which the entire functioning of Krishna. I am making it in a very simplified version of it. There are more details to this, but at least this is important to be known. Number two, the second point that I want to mention about is, out of all these functions, there is one function which he plays under Tadekatma Rupa, is he is becoming witness, sanctioner, and a friend to all the jivas. And through Paramatma, he does this function. Paramatma is Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. So what does the Lord does? He sits next to the soul and makes an arrangement wherever the soul travels, the Paramatma also travel. And what does Paramatma do? Nothing but fulfilling the desires of the soul, as well as he becomes the witness to the activities of the soul. So Krishna explains this to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter. Upadrishta Anumanta cha Bharta Bhokta Maheshwaraha. So he says that I am witness to all your activities. I am sanctioning all the desires that you have. And I am also Bhokta. I am the enjoyer. And Prabhupada writes in the purport that Krishna, as a friend, he travels along with the soul so that he happens to be their witness, he happens to be their sanctioner, and he happens to be their friend and helping them. So, this particular chapter, where it talks about the Manus and administrators of the universe, so this chapter is explaining about the different administrative structure under the purview of Tadekatma Rupa, which means under Mahavishnu, under Karanodaka Sai Vishnu, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. Then from there, there are so many other Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar. Then there are so many different Prajapatis, then so many Manus, and based on Manu, we are all called Manushyas. So there are moral code of conduct, how a person should be conducted. So all those things are, very nicely explained, because Sukadeva Goswami was answering Parikshit Maharaj's, query that how does the Lord conducts this universe? How is he, managing so many things administratively? Sometimes we ask the question, right? Hey, you are all the time playing, you are all the time in the temple, in the kirtan, you are all the time in the festival. How do you manage your office? How do you get your salary? Where do you earn your things from? So this is something like that of a question by Parikshit Maharaj. So he was curious about how does the Lord manage the universe? How everything is so perfect, how everything is so wonderfully arranged. So from that perspective, he is he is interested, he is curious. So from that standpoint, I want to say that this chapter itself, where you will see different types of administrative functions of Manus and their interconnectivity and how this whole uh, human race functioning, they are already explained. So hence the second aspect of our discussion is that the Paramatma function, because Paramatma does the activity of witness, sanctioneering, as well as playing the role of a friend, because he does not want to give up at any point in time, because he is our father. He is saying that I am desiring to see to that you are always having some support, that whenever you need, I am available to support. To that extent, Paramatma is available. And Srila Prabhupada writes in one of the purports of Bhagavad Gita that the spiritual master acts as a representative of such a Paramatma. So from that perspective, it is to be noted that the Lord is very much interested in every jiva's welfare. It is only up to the jiva how much he or she is able to take advantage of their position. Now comes the third aspect of it, in terms of comparison of the state of a jiva versus the state of the Supreme Lord. The reason this has been explained is many a times we as praja or human, we get nostalgic, or we may get proud, we may get little quote unquote arrogant to say that I have acquired some resources, I have acquired some power and position, I have reached some stage, so I want my identity in place. So in that prospect, it is important, when we understand the larger picture, then we know what is our identity that we deserve, what is our identity that we should be longing for, and what is the sustainable and long-term identity that is suitable for a spirit soul. To that extent, Prabhupada has given this purport, saying that Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bahunam Jo Vidata Kaman. So the difference between the Supreme Being and the ordinary living being is that when this material world is annihilated, the living entity remains silent, and the Supreme Lord is never getting any affection. He's not getting affected at all. So, hence, the third aspect of our discussion today is about how this the whole material cosmic manifestation. In that manifestation, the state of the Jivatma versus the state of the Supreme Lord. The state of Jivatma, he is explaining, Prabhupada is explaining, is in the state of awareness or dream, depends upon what is his consciousness. So, as a third reflection or a third point that I want to say is that, yeah, if a Jivatma or a spirit soul is fully conscious about his or her own swadharma, then he will be able to be situated in the state of awakeness. But if somebody who does not know about his or her own constitutional position, Swadharma, then he is considered in the state of dream, which we'll explain in the fourth point. So, as a third point, I want to say that do we know our Swadharma? If we know our Swadharma, do we know that what is the conditioning because of which I am suffering? And what is that I am supposed to be doing? And that awareness is called Vaishnavism. That awareness is called a devotional acumen. That awareness is called somebody trying to be Krishna conscious. So, hence, it is important for us to note that as a practicing devotee, one needs to know that our being aware about my constitutional nature helps us in being awake. Otherwise, we will be classified amongst those who are dreaming. So, when we are calling ourselves to be awake, it means I know my Swadharma, which means I know where I went wrong, which means what I know as the corrective measures, and I am working on it. So, at this point in time, I have to explain about two concepts: a concept about Swadharma and concept about Swabhava, and third, a concept about Shraddha. So these three concepts, Shraddha, Swadharma, Swabhava. What is Shraddha? Shraddha means my seriousness, my involvement, my courage to know about who am I and what is my constitutional position. If people are really genuine, if people have real Shraddha, if people have real inclination in knowing the truth, they will be without any strings attached. They will be trying to know the truth without any quotient. They will be trying to learn about this truth. So to learn about this truth, it is important that one need to um, um, ask these basic questions. So when they ask this question, when they ask the right source, then they get to know about their constitutional nature, Swadharma. I mean, that is what is Shraddha. I have the courage to ask this question, and the natural outcome of this is to get the answer, which is about our constitutional nature. That is why when Krishna was explaining about duties to Arjuna, Krishna was explaining that there are conditional duties and there are constitutional duties. Uh, there are conditional duties prescribed for every varna and ashrama. But what is our constitutional duties? Our constitutional duty is to eternally serve the Supreme Lord. So, in terms of Shraddha, one need to know that my Shraddha, my sincerity, my seriousness is in asking relevant questions and trying to make sure that my progress, my being aware, my being awake is being utilized. And number two, as a part of that reflection, is about Swadharma. So our Shraddha, our seriousness, our involvement should be triggered towards knowing about our constitutional nature, which is Jivera Swarupa Hoy, Krishnera Nityadas. You do any learning, any service, anything under Krishna consciousness without knowing our Swadharma, this will be really a baseless, functioning. So hence, right from the beginning of our, Vedanta studies, the first aphorism of Vedanta Sutra is Atato Brahma Jignasa. Try to find out who are you. Try to find out your constitutional position. Try to find out your relationship with the Supreme Lord. Without that knowledge, every other knowledge is going to be waste. Now that Shraddha and Swadharma are in place, then naturally the third outcome is one need to work towards, improving one's Swabhava. And when you discuss about Swabhava, we discuss about two aspects of it. One is what I like versus what is right. So typically, all conditioned souls, typically all those who are engrossed in materialistic thought process, they try to do things what they like instead of what is right. So this is the state of being in conditioned state. When somebody is elevating himself from conditioned state to liberated state, then he will be able to think about what is right. So the day a spirit soul being very, very dutiful, Shraddhalu, and understanding his Swabhava, he is able to work towards what is right, then he is a devotee who is in the awake state. But if somebody is not working on what is right, vis-a-vis he working on what he likes, then it is going to take some time. So that is why Krishna consciousness is a process which will turn, which will change, which will improve, which will purify our Swabhava. So long as I am not changing in my Swabhava, I am not able to go and make any progress in spirituality. Now comes the fourth aspect of it. The fourth aspect of it is about the three stages of dreaming. So Prabhupada explains that if we are not awake, obviously we are dreaming. That is why those who are practicing Krishna consciousness, they are all always called as, they are devotees who are well aware, devotees who are conscious, devotees who are awakened, devotees who are bright. Why those words are used? Because they are not in slumber. They are constantly thinking about something which is keeping them active and want to get rid of the cycle of birth and death. So it is important to note that in our devotional life, we have to be very careful in seeing to that our activities are drawn towards activities are our activities are drawn towards are aiming towards reviving the cycle of birth and death. If you are not doing that, then we have a bigger problem of being in the human form of life but behaving like an animal. So the last reflection that I want to reflect about the three dreaming stage. In the three dreaming stages that Srila Prabhupada is saying that so long as we are in this materialistic condition, so long as we are in the sense gratificatory propensity, then we will be only just dreaming. We will be daydreaming. We will be thinking about something which is illusory. We will consider reality as illusion and illusion as reality. And he's giving three stages. In the stage of being in the material world, we will be dreaming. sorry, the call button. So I'm saying that at the end of the day, it is important for us to come out of the dreaming state. At the end of the day, we have to come out of the state of dreaming. Otherwise, these three stages of dreaming in the materialistic condition, thinking that this is the permanent place for me to exist, this is the permanent place for me to enjoy, that is also going to be in trouble. Second is, Prabhupada says, when you are sleeping, that is also an illusionary dream state, and when the annihilation happens. So what is the stage of dreaming says is, there is work yet to be done. We are still way behind, because at least we should be awake for us to function towards going towards reality. If we are not going towards reality, if we are going to be remaining in the slumber, if we are going to remain in our sleeping state, then it is not going to help anyone, and we will continue to. That's why Krishna is explaining to Arjuna that Ashrada Danaha Purusha Dharmasyasya Param Tapa Aprapyamam Nivartante Mrityu Samsara Vartmani. If you are not having any Shraddha, if you are not having any faith in this process of Krishna consciousness, Mrityu Samsara Vartmani, we will be keep on revolving between this birth, death, old age, disease cycle, and we will not be able to make any necessary progress. So the sum and substance of this particular shloka is to say that as a spirit soul, we need to be taking advantage of the well awake state of mind of people, both Paramatma as well as the representatives of Paramatma, and try to come out of the state of dream. Chanakya Pandita says there are 5 qualities of a student, and one of the qualities is that you are supposed to be awake. In Bhagavad Gita also, Arjuna is called Gudakesha. Gudakesha means one who has won over slumber. So many people in many contexts is explaining about how you are supposed to be awake. Being awake doesn't mean that we can't sleep. Being awake means I don't remain in such a dreamy world that I have no reality check. We must have reality check about our existence, so that we are able to come out of our suffering state, and that is only possible when we take some endeavor. So these are all the 4 sets of reflections from this current context, by which we will understand that our goal of life is to elevate our consciousness from being in the state of dream to coming to the state of awake. So to summarize our conversation, the first thing that I mentioned is about the Supreme Lord's multifarious form and personalities, how the Lord is performing the role of the Swayam Rupa, Tadekatma Rupa, and Avesha Rupa, and I will this he is explaining in a very clear-cut manner. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining that it will it is something that you have to learn to understand about the Supreme Lord. If you do not learn, you will be not realizing anything. And as typically in our Indian culture, we all go to every god as treating them as demigods. In South India, people go to demigods, to every demigod, and try to pray them, thinking that if this person is not doing, at least he will do. If he is not doing, he will do. So it's a kind of a backup plan. They move around everywhere, not realizing everything is coming from one source. So when we study the scriptures, we get to know the truth, we get to know the reality, and we will be able to appreciate. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was explaining this to Rupa Goswami, he was making it very clear that how the Lord performs multifarious activities. Some things he does himself, something he does it through his expansions and incarnations, something is done through his devotees. So that was my first reflection. And the second reflection was where we discussed about the Lord being a Paramatma, and as a Paramatma function, he tries to remain in our heart and try to witness. He is trying to do various activities. He tries to witness our activities. He tries to be as our friend. Upadrishta Hanumanta cha Bharta Bhokta Maheshwaraha. So he is somehow or other participating in our journey, and we need to take advantage of that Paramatma, because as Paramatma, he is our friend. He is ready to help. He wants to revive. He doesn't want to make us stay in suffering, but he is ready to be available when we are ready. So that is why one of the functions of Paramatma is to sanction what you desire. So desire is our job. The third reflection that we discussed is how it is important for us to get rid of, how it is important for us to get rid of this illusory lifestyle. And that's where we mentioned about being awake versus being in a dream. And it is important that those who are Vaishnavas, those who are surrendered to the Supreme Lord, by the virtue of asking right set of questions, by the virtue of asking right set of discussions, by trying to set up right set of priorities, they are able to discuss between their own Shraddha, Swarup, Swabhava, and Swadharma. So I need to be having a right Shraddha to understand my Swadharma, so that I can change my Swabhava. And the fourth reflection we said is about the three dream state. And these three dream states are, it indicates that we are still yet to change. We have a lot more to work on. So somewhere we need to come to the awake state, which means I am trying to ask relevant questions, try to perform some positive actions to make sure that the cycle of birth and death is not going to be repeated forever. So that's the sum and substance of my understanding from this current context. Thank you all so much. If you have any questions, comments, reflections, I'll be happy to respond. Hare Krishna. Granthar Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Anybody has any questions, comments, reflections, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Madana Pranam to you. Shri ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Again, I've heard you after a long time, Prabhuji. I don't know, like somehow it's been, I've become very distant with the speakers, and but wonderful reflections, of. So, Prabhuji, in this chapter, basically, just to have a little idea, Canto 8, what are we going to be basically, maybe I didn't pay attention to the, because every canto is bringing some kind of background, right?
It is
Learning.
this chapter is only about different types of manus and the administrative structure, because the second chapter of 8th canto onwards, Gajendra Moksha is starting. But because already Parikshit Maharaj has heard about Swayambhuva Manu till the end of 7th chapter, Maharaj Parikshit wanted to know about other Manus. So he desired to understand how the Supreme God, Personality of God, descends not only in the past but at the present and also in the future, and how he acts in various pastimes as Manu. And since Parikshit Maharaj was eager to know all this, Sukadeva Goswami gradually described all the Manus, beginning with the 6 Manus who had appeared in the past. So Swayambhuva Manu, because already from 4th chapter onwards, some discussions are happening. That from the Swayambhuva Manu, Manostu Sadaru Upaya Tisra Kanya Sajagnire Akuti Devahuti Se Prasudi. So these are all something that has happened from 4th canto onwards. So, and so many Manus discussions are happening on Devahuti's story, Akuti's story, then Kapila's story. So many stories have you have heard, and now that Parikshit Maharaj is asking about other Manus also. There are 14 Manus. Because of these Manus, we are all called Manushyas, and these Manus have given some code of conduct for each of these Manushya, and which is part of Manu Samhita. That's the sum and substance of this chapter. This is purely a curiosity question from Parikshit Maharaj on getting to know other Manus. You're okay?
Yes, Prabhuji, because sometimes, like in the Bhagvatam, I think yesterday's speaker was mentioning that very important to read the purports of Srila Prabhupada, not to miss the purports, where Prabhupada has put all his, so to say, blood into it, like some are very long purports like that. But it's basically like I'm just sharing about my realization. Like sometimes I don't make connection at all. I'm just reading, and I don't know how much I'm assimilating because it's like so much. But some, like for example, you're saying Gajendra prayers are coming up. So that's interesting because we heard from devotees. Srila Prabhupada is quoted in so many, and so we like to hear about prayers because we are focused on a certain, like Prahlad Maharaj or Kunti Maharani, because we know all these great personalities, and anything connected to that is very, very interesting. Very interesting, in fact. So I just wanted to, mom, like you said, you're an illusion, so I'm completely into that. Sometimes I get like bored, because I'm just not able to connect to it. But so I just want to say to you, please pray for me that, I can take every page of Bhagavatam, like in an interesting way.
Sure.
And enjoy it. I don't know. I'm not able to somehow. So
yeah, I guess this is a process. As you are going through a process, I'm
yeah.
sure you'll get enlightened.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the wonderful class.
Hare
And
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Any other comments or questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, Om Krishna Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for the wonderful class and your presentation. You present everything in a very logical, systematic way. Prabhuji, I have a
Prabhuji, your
question
voice is
about
not coming. Prabhuji, we can't hear you.
Oh,
It is a bit wobbly, that's all.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's good.
Yes. So, Prabhuji, thank you much for the wonderful class. My question is, how do we know, like, the Lord comes as himself, or you mentioned the different avatars. So when does he choose to send his empowered devotees or Siddha devotees versus himself? We know, like, Srila Prabhupada is also mentioned as Shakti Avesh Avatar, and some says that Jesus Christ is also Shakti Avesh, and you mentioned Narada Muni, etc. So, is there, like, when does he come by himself versus send his empowered devotees? Is there a reason, one
Yeah,
or the other?
so whenever we talk about these things, we should remember two things. First of all, thank you for your kind words, but then whatever I presented, it's all from Bhaktivedanta purports and all glories to Prabhupada. So, but the point is that whenever we hear anything logical and descriptive about the different aspects of the Lord and things like that, we should remember that they are meant for our understanding. But in terms of the sequence and how they manifest, they are absolutely parallel processing. It is not one dependent on other, one sequence to other, one after the other. It is not like that. As the Lord is enjoying somewhere, as the universes are being created somewhere, as the empowered souls are moving around somewhere, and this is like a complete organization, completely intertwined. It's like a 4-dimensional, 5-dimensional matrix where things keep happening just for the sake of our understanding, even for the sake of our discussions. we take how the creation happened, what happened. So we take at a point in time and then start discussing from that point in time. But what happened prior to that point in time? Things are happening, things were existing. So the philosophical explanation gives us clarity on how things happen. When they all manifest, they are all parallel processing. They all happens, on different criteria. Say for example, Shakti Avesh Avatar. When does a Shakti Avesh Avatar comes? As I said, Shakti Avesh Avatar, instead of asking when they come, why they come? They are missionaries. They are meant to empower. They are why they are empowered personalities. They come to empower more jivas and try to give them opportunity to come closer to Krishna. So it is like we have ministers and we have other officers. The other officers will tell about various schemes of the ministry. Please subscribe to the scheme. So eventually that ministry gets benefited. That ministry even contributes to the government. So that is how it is. And in this case, the Lord being the government, the Lord being the supreme enjoyer, the whole universe is working for his enjoyment alone. Whether it is administrative function, whether it is his empowerment function, whether it is any other function, the whole universe is under his order, under his control, and he is the cause of all causes. The descriptions are purely compartmentalizing for our logical understanding, but they are not necessarily logical or sequential. They are all, absolutely parallel. And as we speak, millions of universes are being created, millions of universes are being annihilated. There are is from the pores of Mahavishnu's body, from the breathing out of Mahavishnu's body, universes are created and annihilated. So the moment the Lord breathes out, universes are created. When he breathes in, universes are taken in. And this is a continuous activity that is happening. Am I making some sense? Did I answer your question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Um, yes. Also, there's a pattern we see that the Lord Himself comes when the devotee goes and prays. Like we know that Lord Gauranga came when um, uh, uh, yeah,
Advaita
so
Charya.
yeah, Advaita Acharya was praying with
Right.
Tulsi, and then Lord Krishna came himself when Mother Earth prayed through Brahma.
Right. So those are all called triggers. Suppose if in next Kali Yuga, Advaita Acharya will pray when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu come, answer is no. The point is that every time when the Lord choose to come, he would need a trigger. It is like I need an episode to initiate the process. So when Mother Earth going to pray for Krishna, she is praying every day. But when sometimes the Lord will personally come, otherwise the Lord will solve the problem in other way. So the idea is the Lord is available to all of us. In which form and shape, it is left to his prerogative. And yes, you can definitely draw a pattern, but that doesn't mean only in that pattern things will happen. That is why there are 6 different types of incarnation: Guna avatar, Leela avatar, Manmantra avatar, Purusha avatar, Yuga avatar, Shakti avatar. Why there are different 6 categories of incarnations? What is, Guna avatar? Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna, Tamo Guna, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. What is Leela avatar? There are different. The Lord comes and performs purely for the sake of Leela, and he just, leaves those memories for the Baddha Jivas to learn from. What is Purusha avatar? Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, Karnadaka Sai Vishnu for administrative function. What is Manvantara avatar? The avatar where the Lord comes in every day of Manu. Today we are discussing about different types of Manu. There is Swayambhuva Manu, Shvetaswara Manu, then Chakshusa Manu. There are different Manus are there. And during the day of Manu, the Lord comes. And what is Guna avatar हो गया, गुणा तलीला अवतार, मनवंतर अवतार, पुरुष अवतार, शक्ति आवेश अवतार, Yuga avatar, The Lord comes in every yuga, like Rama is a yuga avatar. Every time when Treta Yuga happens, Rama will come. But every Dwapara Yuga, Krishna is not going to come. Every Kali Yuga, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not going to come. So it is a little interesting matrix. There is a pattern, but it is not, superimposed always on the Supreme Lord. It is up to his prerogative if he wants to just do it. For example, in case of Draupadi, the Lord appeared as saris. What category of avatar it fits in? Those are technical information. 6 different avatars are there. But in none of the avatars is but the Lord becoming sari for Draupadi is which avatar? It is none of those avatars. It is his free will. He wants to appear, he'll appear. When Tukaram Maharaj was at the ripened stage of his devotion, the Supreme Lord came in his Pushpaka Viman and airlifted Tukaram Maharaj. What avatar was he? So he can appear over and above and beyond. That's what somebody explains. That the Dashavatara that we know is just it's a form of worship or a mood of worship of Jayadev Goswami in which he has glorified certain personalities. But that doesn't mean that the avatars are confined to 10 in numbers. No. The Lord is taking unlimited avatars. So my point is, technical informations, pattern information, they are all good to help us learn about the Supreme Lord. But that is not confining them. Because the Lord can, out of his own free will, create and perform any amount of Leela. Am I making sense, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. And we also know the Lord, sends his empowered representative, and his mood is always to, make his devotees look good, and he goes to the background. We see in, Krishna Leela in Kurukshetra war also, Arjuna is seen as the hero. So is that the reason he kind of sends his close associates?
Yes, he is a father who has lost his children. So Shakti Avesh Avatar is meant to go on everywhere, every nook and corner, single pointed agenda to uplift the people. You look at every Shakti Avesh Avatar, whether it's Narada Muni, whether it's Prithu Maharaj. I mean, even if you, because many people, many bona fide people have even said Prabhupada is Shakti Avesh Avatar, even though Prabhupada has not said that. So everybody's agenda is singularly to uplift the masses from the cycle of birth and death. That's all. Any other questions or comments from anyone?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Geeta. Thank you so much for this very, very illuminating class. Prabhuji, I had a question. I know I've heard this many times that this is for the pleasure of the Lord that, the universe is existing and his leelas and all that. But actually, sometimes I sometimes wonder, yes, it is for his pleasure when we are happy, but actually, they say the sansar is dukkha. So, how do we say that it is for the pleasure of the Lord?
Okay, I'll answer this in 2 parts. When we say everything is created for the pleasure of the Lord, when we say pleasure, it means that he organizes things in such a capacity that he gets pleasure. Jail of a government is a government office, but it is meant to keep the notorious elements quarantined in that place so that the general public are remaining happy. So technically, the government creates jail to create peace. So jail is a government office, so are the secretariat, so are the city center, so are the other places. And every one of them is meant for compartmentalizing people so that there is peace and harmony. When the Lord created this universe where we are living, this is actually a jail. But in the jail, some people are happy also. Who are happy? The superintendent of the jail. because it is duty. The police officer who is looking after his prisoners, it is his job. He is paid for it. He is even rewarded for better performance. He is even appreciated for doing his duty religiously. So from that perspective, it is from whose side you look at it. For you and me, this material world is dukkhalayam asashvatam. But for the Lord, this is his government office. It is one of his office. Why this office was created? Because if you and me were put in other place, we would create disturbance to other good souls. So for us to become good, he has created one more office, which is this material world, where we are put, and he is sending some preachers who will come and preach, so that whilst we are the prisoners, we hear some good words and try to come out of the prison and try to go to the other side of the house. So technically for the Lord, there is nothing called as dukkha, there is nothing called as sukha, because he is beyond sukha and dukkha. And it is government office after all, because it is for his pleasure. For him to be pleasingly performing his leela elsewhere, he is quarantining all of us in this place. Make sense?
Thank you, Prabhuji. It definitely makes sense. But then who are the superintendents and all who
So many Vaishnavas, all the Prabhupads, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they are all agents. They come Indra, Chandra, Varuna, so many demigods. They are all Krishna's representatives. They are all great devotees who are looking after those functions. Today, in this material world, Surya, Chandra, Vayu, Varuna, all these devatas, without them, you cannot function. Assume that there is no sun for the next 3 years. Probably will, cease to death. So they are all representatives. They are all agents of the Lord. And they are also very great devotees of the Lord, even though they are also within the rules and regulations of the Lord, but they are much, much superior to, all of us. To that extent, they are on the, the Lord's side and not called as culprits or victims. Make sense?
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Very, very helpful. The other thing, it's not related to today's class, Prabhuji, but just I wanted to ask you, is that how they say that Bhagvatam is much more superior to the Bhagavad Gita. So, do you mind explaining that? Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, these are all very subjective conversations. In spiritual context, everything is absolute. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, every literature, typically that which is directly associated with Krishna, they are all called absolute, literatures. And absolute word is means it has got the same effect. But then, in terms of an experience, that a practicing devotee experience them differently according to the practicing devotee's consciousness at a particular point in time. For Arjuna, Bhagavad Gita was so relevant, so relatable. But assume after he heard Bhagavad Gita, after he finished Mahabharat war, Arjuna would have preferred to hear Bhagavatam, because he already now became convinced about doing devotional service. So he would want to hear more about activities of Krishna, more about Leelas of Krishna, and that is the natural progression. So the idea is that in Krishna consciousness, superiority or juniority is a very subjective, term. Very subjective term. So in that sense, both Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam are absolute in nature, and they are as pure to each other. So from that perspective, there is no comparison. At the same time, there is comparison from an audience, student's perspective. You will say that the undergraduation is very important, but somebody will say no, PhD is important. Somebody will say that grade 8 is important. Somebody will say grade 10 is important. Which is important? All studies are important. All studies are relevant. All studies are relatable, and only it is proportionate to the position and level of the student. That's all. Make sense?
Yes, Prabhuji, very much. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandatnam, all Guru Shri
Radha.
Srila Prabhupada and Guru
All
Maharaj.
Prabhupada, yes.
This is Nikunjana Sadas. Prabhuji, yeah, I just related to the question what Geeta Mataji asked just now. It was a very good question, like everything is Dukkhalaya Shaswasam on this planet. So how the question, so I had one practical example which I just want to share with
Sure,
everyone.
sure.
When
Sure.
when I was working in Vrindavan as a full-time devotee, so that time I was in congregation development and I got one fine day, one person, like he was around 35 to 40 age. He came to me in my office and then he said, like we interacted, like I told him what specialties about Vrindavan and everything. So darshan, prasadam. But then I asked from where you are. Then he said, actually I am from Virginia, but I'm going to Krishna's birthplace. So I did not understand for a while, and then he said, I told birthplace means is that in India? If you are going somewhere, he said, no, Prabhuji, uh, I'll be 1 year in jail, US jail. So that time, then immediately everything becomes serious, right? So then
Right.
I asked, he briefed me why he's going. I don't want to go into detail. So he said, then 1 year, if my performance will be good, then they may reduce my this thing. But 1 year, anyhow, I have to go. And he just came, probably someone told, before going to jail, why don't you go? Sham Sundar from Pittsburgh, they were connected with him. So Sham Sundar who told, go and take darshan in Vrindavan before you go there. So
Wow.
then I immediately got serious, then I took Prabhu to the deities and then I put him a garland. I just gave him Bhagavad Gita, I gave him some books, I gave him mala. He was not chanting at all. He was uh, like just a new devotee. So then uh, he took that mala, and normally he took with him, but I got a phone call from his wife that they did not allow him to take anything inside. Then, we provided by mail, they can accept because police will verify everything and then it will be. Then somehow he got, we mailed him the Japamala, then some books, then he got that and then he read that. And I told him only one thing. I told him, if you want to come out of all these things, you have to have chant as much you can chant. And Prabhuji, he started chanting almost half day. He used to chant like few hours, from his 12 hours of the day. And to the surprise, like he was supposed to release by December, like I don't like example, like 3 months before he was released.
Achha.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. So the question, it shows the relevancy, like uh, even if it is Dukhalaya Shaswatam, because he was not sure, whether 1 year or they may extend also. We never know, So then I said, you keep faith. If you are keeping faith, then you will come out and at least at the end of your year. But Krishna made a miracle and his chanting brought him uh, 3 months before, and his wife went to pick him up and they came directly to Vrindavan when he was released. And then, they said everything is because of this. And then they supported the temple and everything. That was a different story. But, like this was the realization, ये दुखालय ashwasatam hai, but planet is for dukha and happiness also. If like we do our good deeds, then definitely our sadhana, then definitely Krishna will help in this. So that's what you were trying to say, giving the example of the jail, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you
So
so much,
I like
Prabhuji.
that.
Very good
I
example.
like your explanation, like Prabhuji. You mentioned about the jail and jailers, and even the traitors or prisoners who may do some good performances. then they will be, they will get some mercy.
Right.
So, yeah, so this was like, this clicked me immediately to at least share with everyone. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you,
Fantastic.
Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you for your one.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji. So you actually became the superintendent for him, right? Very nice. So another
Yeah,
thought, then Prabhuji, in
yeah,
that case, yeah, so actually we should encourage, I mean, just a thought came out of this, is that all the jailers in India, we can, start giving them this message about chanting, and it can help them because they're just, if they're not doing work.
We have a jail preaching department within ISKCON. There are multiple devotees are already preaching and going to jails, and in fact there are initiations. The jailers, the prisoners are taking initiations also.
Very
So
nice.
there is, I know at least there is one lady who does in Chennai. There are some devotees who does in Agra jail. Even in US they do that. So a lot of preachings are happening.
Yeah,
At least,
yes, Maharaj. Yeah, sorry, Prabhuji, yes, Chandramouli Maharaj is extensively
yes.
doing this, the prison preaching. Yeah, yes.
Very good. Thank you, Prabhuji. And another one last quick question, Prabhuji. I did ask that earlier, but I'm not sure of whether it wasn't a satisfying answer. Is that, like you said about the demigods, like Lord Indra? Now, one sees that he also has a few vices. I mean, Lord Indra. So, I wonder how people can pray to people with vices.
The idea is that does mother make mistake? Yes. But can the child not depend on the mother? He can.
Right.
Mother is not perfect. Mother is pure. When it talks about Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, Devatas, we are not calling them. We are not asking them to worship them. We are asking them to respect them as agents of the Supreme Lord. Then you get your needs. Worship is only to Krishna. Rest, everybody is respected. That is the important aspect of it. Those who are less intelligent, those who are not aware, they may worship also. And Krishna explains that even they worship Indra, even if Indra sanctions something, they should know that whatever he is giving them, he is getting it from me. This is Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita, Krishna very clearly, crystal clear says that when anybody is worshipping a demigod, their wishes are getting fulfilled because of the sanction from the Supreme Lord himself. So technically speaking, when we are talking about Indra, we are respecting Indra as a demigod. The very reason is demigods accept the authority of Krishna. Demons does not accept the authority of Krishna. That is a fundamental definition. Why we don't worship Hiranyakashipu but worship Indra and Brahma? Because even though Indra and Brahma, they made mistakes, they are ready to accept their mistakes. They are ready to work under the authority of Krishna. But Hiranyakashipu or Hiranyaksha, even though they know about Vishnu, they do not want to work under the authority of Krishna. So mothers do have mistake, but mothers are pure at heart and are ready to do anything for the welfare of the child. So something like that. So these agents, they are all Krishna's dutiful agent, prone to make mistakes, but ready to accept the mistakes and also ask for forgiveness and work under the authority of Krishna. That is why they are all pujaniya. Make sense?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, if there are no further questions, probably we can end the session.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for wonderful association and enlightening class always. So, and let us pay. I no one has any questions, then we can end the call. Mancha Kalpatipesha, because Patitanam Pavani, Ananta Koti Vaishnav, Shila Prabhupada, His Grace Ram Kirtari.
Jai. Jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol.